Hey guys, SeanB. Today I want to talk to you guys about the team for the 2A witch dungeon. It is a little bit annoying because every time you change a witch, you might have to change your team because you need different elements in this dungeon. For the LD witches, which are the good ones, I recommend trying out this 3 unit here. They're really good, they're free to play friendly, and you probably have them built already. For Vert, I have the typical Vert that you use for the Trikaru team in Dragon's B12. It was supposed to be attack with damage attack, but he was really slow. I have my Vert at 0 speed, and he wasn't really moving, so I had to change and put him on a speed rune. But the general rule is you have Vert on damage build and max crit. We have the Vigor here on Violent, the usual Violent build. You don't have to be this fast. You don't have to be this tanky. I know you're going to have a much weaker Vigor, but you're going to be just fine because Vigor provide healing and defense break, which is really important. Here is the more flexible slot. This is going to be the wind damage dealer. You don't have to run this unit if you don't have one. I recommend using Savannah, which can be way better, or you can use Changpeng. You can use a healer, for example. It's going to be just fine. If you are looking for a safer team, okay, you will replace this with a Veromos. Veromos is really good in this dungeon because this boss can do a lot of debuff on your team. So Veromos will cleanse all the debuff very easily. The boss doesn't stun, which means Veromos will gain attack buff after cleansing the first round debuff, and he can keep doing that until your team is fresh out of debuff. He's really amazing. But then you will have to change in your Dark Witch, right? So you can actually use a different healer instead. You can try out another free-to-play healer, which is going to be Riley. Riley can be built speed HP as well, and Riley is an amazing support for the team as well. But if your rune quality is good enough and you have the Nat 5, I recommend Savannah. But you don't have Savannah, no problem. You can use Yin as well, and she's going to do an amazing job at farming this dungeon for you. So the wave is nothing crazy. It's just your usual crystal thing that does some damage or whatsoever. If you have a healer like Vigor, you don't have to worry at all. If you are one of those very endgame ones, maybe you're going to change out and put in Galleon for attack buff and constant defense break. That's going to make it even faster too. But honestly, I don't really care too much about how fast I farm this dungeon. So I think Vigor is just more than good enough. And if you want to be safe, you will want to put runes on your Mystic Witch that you are trying to Second Awaken so that the witch can provide some damage and support as well, especially the light one that can provide some debuff, especially defense break. It helps the run much more than you thought it would do. I don't know what to say right there, but the defense break from the witch is really good. So in the boss stage, the crystal will strip you and block buff you. Can be annoying. That's why Veromos is really good and safe for this dungeon. And it's going to depend on whether you land defense break or not. So Vigor is going to be a very important factor here. And look at that block buff. Veromos will take care of all of this, okay? If you want a safe team, once again, please give Veromos a try, and you don't have to worry at all about all these debuff. They don't do a lot of damage, but they do a lot of debuff. Let me try a run with Veromos and maybe a Galleon, okay? Let's see if it's actually faster. So Veromos will take care of the debuff, and we're going to run Galleon for defense break. Because the speed of the run depends on how fast you can do damage, right? So you can build damage with Veromos as well, but the Vert on damage is going to clean the wave really easily. I have a spare despair set on my Linda, nothing really crazy, so she can provide some casual support, but she doesn't really do much. A lot of people don't really put runes on their unit that they're trying to 2A, which might be a problem, but for those who are endgame, they don't really care. But for those who are just starting out, hey, trying to 6-star the unit that you actually want to 2A, you put runes on them, it will make the run so much easier. As you can see with the Galleon support, we are killing these very quickly with the defense break, because Galleon always provides defense break. As you can see that, even though Vert is a single target damage unit, he cleared the wave so fast. And Veromos doing a very good job pushing back the attack bar of the towers, as well as providing dot on the boss, and it will actually kill the boss. And also, Veromos is pushing down the attack bar of the boss as well. So even though I bring Veromos for the debuff cleanse, we kill it way faster than the run with Yin, that we didn't have to cleanse any debuff whatsoever. So actually, we may use Crow for faster damage. Or you can just run like a Savannah for attack by pushback. I would say any win attack by pushback like Charlotte, Changpeng, or Savannah is gonna do a very good job as well. So I think Galleon is actually easier for this. But not everybody has Galleon. Actually, you know, I'm gonna assume most people would have a Galleon. But not every run is gonna run as smooth, and not every run is gonna be that easy like the run just now. We land every single thing that we need. Maybe there'll be run where Veromos doesn't spam skill 2 at all. As you can see, if we didn't land a defense break, the run's gonna be longer than it should be. And the boss might actually move and put out debuff, and Veromos is there to make the run much safer. Oh my god, my Veromos are actually popping off every single turn. Like the boss would die to the dots even. Is it gonna die to the dots? It died to the dots. So my Veromos not even, wow, 57 seconds. That's pretty fast. My Veromos is actually not even on damage build. It's just on a speed HP that I put together literally 5 minutes ago. If it's on crit damage, it can do even more damage and clear the wave even faster. And I think this is such a good unit for this particular dungeon. But if you're new and you need healing, I would recommend Vigor and a Win CC unit. Anything that brings AoE control is going to be pretty good for this dungeon, okay? But I'm going to leave it running for now, and we can take a look at the witch once again for closer inspection. Okay, so let's take a look at the stat for the witches, and they all have pretty good stat except for Linda, who's more focused on attack build, which I guess is understandable because her skill is now geared towards dealing damage, but the rest of them have more balanced stats. And Megan will have attack by recovery improvement in the skill up department. It is 10% of the 20%, which means if you max this skill, Megan will boost 22% attack bar. Unfortunately, it is not going to be like 20 plus 10. It is actually 10% of the 20%. So it's not that much more amazing. Other skill, not a whole lot. She's just way tankier, and that's about it. Rebecca is not looking so bad, but her skill is a bit more generic, and she seemed to be like a fire Annabelle. But the good thing about Annabelle is the slow debuff, and Rebecca doesn't have the slow debuff, so she might not be as good, but she might be useful. We'll see in the meta somehow. Celia seems like she might get some use thanks to the strip into defense break. And if you max her skill, she can strip into defense break with a 100% chance activation rate, which was like Changpeng, but way better. And then, yeah, Changpeng got nerfed because he could strip into defense break. Now this girl can strip into defense break, but unfortunately she doesn't have that AoE pushback if she violent proc. So she's gonna be like a sort of setup unit, I would say. We might see her in some slow cleave action. And this skill is the same. This skill is not really that good. Has a chance to remove one bit of a show effect, but only 30% chance, so that's pretty low. So Celia's selling point is going to be the skill 2 with a strip in the defense break. I will try to build this or ask somebody to build this and try it for you guys, and we'll see how it goes. Linda definitely look amazing. I'm building her. I'll be using her. Might be maxing her skill as well for that cooldown. -1 looks pretty good right there. And Gina is also kind of interesting here. Has a skill up available as well. I'll try to tell somebody to build her, and we can try her out too. But for the witches, if you want to build one, I would recommend Linda. But hey, don't build anything right now, to be honest. Let the YouTuber or the content creator build and showcase, and you decide later. The energy is not going to go anyway. So just sit tight, relax, and wait, and we'll see what's good and what's not. And you can build according to what you think is good or not, depending on what we show in the video. Okay, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I gotta say, I like this team. I'll try to make it faster, but for now, this one looks really safe and is not too slow, so I'm gonna stick with it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.